Sir, unfortunately, you won't be able to claim any compensation. On the contrary, you'll end up having to pay.
Why is that? You're a lawyer. Do something.
No matter how skilled I am, I can't extract compensation from someone who has done nothing wrong.
With those words, Tom's lawyer left the hospital room. Afterward, Tom was completely disheartened. His former arrogance faded away, leaving him in a state of speechlessness. My name is Sarah. I divorced Tom when I was 45. He was the same age as me. The infidelity that led to our divorce became apparent around the 15th year of our marriage. We had a son, but during that time, I was busy with child rearing while Tom was engrossed in work and his affair. Naturally, our conversations became fewer and fewer each day. Tom didn't even bother to hide his phone calls with other women in front of me. Every time a message from that woman popped up, I grew more suspicious. Hey, are you hiding something from me?
No, not really.
You seem to be getting along with someone lately. Are you cheating on me?
Me cheating? Show me some evidence if you have any. Aren't you the one hiding something? Well, I doubt you have the courage to divorce anyway.
On weekends, Tom neither played with our son nor did any family activities, frequently leaving the house. He might have thought he was going unnoticed, but I was aware that he was visiting another woman, leaving his family behind. Before we got married, we had already conceived our son. However, my parents were not supportive of our marriage with Tom, but rather forcefully pushed for it and the birth of our son. Since then, my relationship with my parents had become completely cold. But among them, the only salvation was Tom's parents, who were very warm-hearted people. They ran a business together and were deeply respected both in their work and character. They were kind-hearted people who would always listen to me whenever I was concerned about raising children. I couldn't help but wonder how such wonderful people could have given birth to someone like Tom, whose attitude was so terrible. And one day, while Tom's parents were traveling, they got into an accident and passed away. Upon hearing the news, Tom was devastated to the point of being speechless for several days. However, as his parents had wished during their lifetime, Tom made the decision to take over their business. With that decision, Tom's work became even busier, and his return home became later and later. The rhythm of family life was completely disrupted, and the conversations between us as a couple became even fewer than before. Even when we occasionally met, there was always a sense of discontent in Tom's expression.
I have a business trip starting tomorrow.
I couldn't help but be surprised by what Tom said that day. Isn't that too sudden? Tomorrow is my day off too, so I was thinking, we could go somewhere as a family of 3.
Sorry, but let's do it another time.
But you hardly ever take a break, right? Your work keeps you busy. In reality, Tom seemed to enjoy leisure and travel, using work as an excuse. Every time he came home, he had a cheerful face, so it was obvious he was having secret meetings with his affair partner. I didn't have concrete evidence, but there were times when I couldn't bear Tom's actions and confronted him. Our son, Alex, is about to start high school soon. I wish you wouldn't act in a way that makes Alex suspicious.
Why? Who do you think allows you to live without any trouble? I have a right to blow off some steam once in a while.
Why are you changing the subject? You are Alex's father. You don't think your affair has been discovered, do you?
Show me the evidence if you have it. Aren't you the suspicious one for even saying such a thing?
Confronting Tom about his infidelity always leads to a pointless roundabout. I felt that continuing the conversation would only tire me out more. His parents, who were once a source of emotional support, are no longer with us, and I've had to distance myself from my own parents due to marital issues. With no one else to turn to, I find myself forced to just endure, reminding myself daily to keep going. Tom plays the role of a good father in front of Alex. He whimsically spends time with Alex and gives him allowance, seemingly to win Alex's favor. But children are keen observers of their parents' actions. Then, one day, I unexpectedly received a call from the hospital. I couldn't help but think it was divine retribution for Tom when I was told over the phone that he had been in a traffic accident. Shockingly, Tom had been in a traffic accident on a day he had lied about being on a business trip and was rushed to the hospital by ambulance. At that moment, everything was a blur, and I couldn't grasp what had happened. My mind went completely blank. I rushed to the hospital with Alex. When I asked the doctor how serious his condition was,
"He'll need several months of hospitalization. It might be tough to hear, but there is significant damage to his spinal cord, and his condition is unstable. During this time, you'll need to prepare as well."
what exactly do I need to prepare for? Will diapers be necessary?
They will be needed at first. However, with rehabilitation, he should be able to use the bathroom on his own eventually.
What about bathing?
You will need to assist him with that.
Despite receiving detailed explanations from the doctor, after asking various questions, the thought of continuing to care for Tom made me want to run away.
Please support your husband as much as you can, within your capabilities.
Though encouraged, my desire to not care for Tom grew stronger after hearing the details of the accident from the police. The accident occurred while he was in the car with his affair partner. So, the affair was real. There couldn't be more clear evidence than this. Fortunately, his mistress only had minor injuries. Muttering to myself, I felt a mix of anger and disbelief, so intense that I was left speechless. Afterward, I continued to visit Tom reluctantly, but I sometimes scolded myself, thinking, it's foolish to waste precious time on such a man. When Alex first accompanied me to the hospital, seeing Tom paralyzed from the waist down clearly devastated him. An ideal wife would have sensed his feelings and provided emotional care, but I had no such capacity left in my heart. What concerned me even more was that initially, Alex was worried about Tom, but over time, he seemed to care less and less about him. It's understandable that he can't stand by Tom anymore since he's already written him off. But I'm worried about how Alex feels. Even when I invited him to come along to the hospital, he wouldn't join me, and I ended up visiting Tom alone. Tom seemed to realize that Alex's attitude towards him was changing day by day and asked me, "Has Alex been cold to me lately?" By then, I had no feelings of anger or sadness left, not even pity. "That's the result of your usual behavior." While thinking this in my mind, I deliberately responded lightly, "He's probably just going through a rebellious phase." I didn't care about Tom, but I wanted to know Alex's true feelings. So when we got back home, I asked Alex, "You haven't been visiting lately, and you seem cold toward Dad. Is something going on?"
No, nothing in particular.
"But you seem to be thinking about something, aren't you?"
Well, I'll tell you then. Dad's actually having an affair."
I was utterly shocked by Alex's statement. Alex began to talk about the time when he still visited Tom in the hospital. One day, when I urged him to go to Tom's hospital room a bit ahead of me, Alex apparently saw Tom and his affair partner chatting and laughing together in the room.
"Mom, do you think Dad is going to be with that woman? I overheard him talking about planning to leave you and be with her."
"I'm sorry you had to see that."
"You don't have to apologize, Mom. You're the one who's suffering the most. I know about the fights between you and Dad. Don't worry about the divorce, Mom. You don't have to endure any more."
With those words, I felt saved by his kindness. If Alex had encountered such a situation, it would be a natural reaction for him to dislike Tom. Feelings of resentment toward Tom welled up from the depths of my heart. Alex continued,
"I don't want to see Mom sad anymore. I love Dad. But I don't want to be with someone who makes Mom sad."
Alex's words erased any remaining forgiveness I had for Tom. I finally woke up, and I decided how I would repay Tom for his actions. Children are keen observers of their surroundings. Realizing this truth anew, I decided to seek revenge on Tom, for Alex's sake, and for my own. The first step was to visit a lawyer and explain everything that had happened.
"This is a serious situation. We might need to investigate Tom's actions more thoroughly, as the evidence is still insufficient."
That's how I gained a powerful ally. The lawyer also referred me to a detective to keep track of Tom and his affair partner's actions. As Tom's hospital stay prolonged, our relationship grew increasingly strained.
What? It's you. When am I getting out of here? Just go home for today. Leave me alone.
It was not uncommon for him to vent his frustrations. Every time he said such things, I was filled with a desire to yell at him, but I encouraged myself, just endure a little longer, and continued to hold back. Then, one day, I heard something unexpected from Alex.
"Mom, it seems like Dad's affair partner is planning to take his money and dump him."
Really?
"Yeah, I went to visit Dad this afternoon and I overheard his affair partner at the vending machine saying he's now paralyzed and useless. She was talking about pretending to marry him just to squeeze all his money out of him."
Receiving this report from Alex, it became clear that although there was affection between Tom and his affair partner, she had decided to abandon him after the accident. Still, Tom was dreaming of a future with her and was rushing to divorce me.
"Dad is really a fool, isn't he?"
Alex said, laughing, and I couldn't help but be drawn into his smile. That's when I truly felt from the bottom of my heart that Tom is unnecessary anymore. At that moment, Alex and I had a serious discussion about divorcing Tom. Since Alex also said he didn't need Tom, we decided to divorce and start a new life, just the two of us, free from caring for Tom. I devised various plans on how to get revenge on Tom. With the help of a lawyer and a detective, I had gathered enough evidence to confront Tom with a divorce. Then, out of the blue, Tom messaged, "Please come to the hospital room. I need to talk." Feeling it was time to make a decision, I went to the hospital room. There was an unfamiliar woman there. She was not Tom's affair partner.
Nice to meet you. I'm lawyer Emily. I've been asked by Tom to claim damages for your infidelity.
The female lawyer said. I was momentarily unable to grasp the situation. Despite Tom being the one having an affair, he smugly declared, "You are the one cheating. I have evidence from a friend. Pay me compensation." In front of a confused me, the female lawyer spread several photos and documents on the table.
These are pictures of you meeting a man in the lobby of a lodging facility. These serve as evidence of infidelity. We will demand a compensation of $50,000 from you and $30,000 from that man, and on that basis, we will file for divorce.
The photos showed the lawyer, who had previously advised me about Tom's situation. In that moment, I realized everything. I need to speak directly to that lawyer, I thought, and immediately contacted him. I've just reached out to the man you claim is my affair partner. He said he could come right away.
Then hurry up and sign in these documents and the divorce papers.
He's been deceived by his affair partner and is trying to divorce me right away. Thinking this, I kept my composure and explained the situation. Let's discuss these photos in detail until our lawyer arrives. I had consulted a lawyer because Tom's behavior was suspicious. Later, on that lawyer's recommendation, I also hired a detective.
A detective? Why?
It was to catch you in the act of your infidelity. Tom and Emily were both speechless at this development. After that, Tom's panic intensified. A few minutes later, the lawyer I had hired appeared in the hospital room.
Excuse me. I look forward to working with you today.
My lawyer immediately began to speak.
Here are the photos capturing Tom's infidelity.
Tom went pale at the sight of the photos.
When was this taken?
Tom, you've been meeting a woman from your workplace in this hospital room 2 to 3 times a week, haven't you? There are more photos we haven't shown yet. Would you like to see them?
After viewing all the photos and documents, the lawyer representing Tom let out a deep sigh.
Tom, unfortunately, you won't be able to claim any compensation. On the contrary, you'll end up having to pay.
Why is that? You're a lawyer. Do something.
No matter how skilled I am, I can't extract compensation from someone who has done nothing wrong.
She replied before leaving the hospital room. Afterwards, Tom was completely dejected. His former arrogance was gone, and he was left speechless. I told Tom that his affair partner was only interested in his money. Alex told me that your affair partner doesn't need you anymore now. that you are in this condition. She plans to take your money and leave you. So, thinking she would take care of you is a big mistake." Tom turned pale again upon hearing this. At the same time, I handed him the divorce papers and informed him that Alex no longer had any affection for him. "Alex doesn't want to live with you. He's known about your dishonesty for a while now, and has even said he's okay with us getting a divorce."
That's impossible. I'm Alex's father. He still needs a father.
"Unfortunately, it's a confirmed fact that you cheated. You've deceived us, your family."
I didn't intend to deceive anyone. I deeply regret my actions. I've accepted that my current condition is a result of my own doing. I can't live alone now that I'm like this.
"Well, I'm mentally exhausted over here."
I won't make the same mistakes again. Please forgive me.
"Even if we ended up living together again, I can't take care of you, and things can't go back to how we were before."
My condition is permanent now, and I absolutely won't betray you again. Can't you reconsider?
"It's out of the question. Your affair partner lost interest in you, and now you come crawling back to me. That's despicable." At that moment, Alex, concerned about me, came to Tom's hospital room. Realizing that speaking to me was futile, Tom suddenly turned to Alex and began talking.
Won't you miss me if I'm gone?
I won't miss you at all. In fact, it's better if you're not around.
We used to play together before. I know I'm like this now, but let's go out together again.
No thanks. Hanging out with my friends is much more fun now, so I'm fine without you. I don't need a dad who betrayed Mom. Mom is all I need. And you might have already heard from Mom, but that affair partner of yours has no intention of being with you anymore.
Hearing this, Tom couldn't hold back his tears.
I've always devoted myself to my family. If I was going to be treated like this, I shouldn't have cheated.
Your presence is no longer needed for us. We are leaving here to start a new life. Tom, crying, muttered something, but following the lawyer's instructions, he signed the divorce papers. With Tom speechless, Alex and I left the hospital. Afterward, along with the lawyer, I headed to the city hall and successfully submitted the divorce papers. When I informed Tom about this via text, I received a flurry of intense calls and messages from him. The message mentioned that after he told his affair partner he couldn't get any alimony from me, she immediately blocked him. It seems his affair partner had been trying to extract as much money from him as possible before cutting ties completely. A year has passed since then, and Alex has smoothly started his high school life, and we are enjoying a peaceful new life together. When I reported this fact to my parents, with whom I had not been in contact for a long time, they warmly welcomed us back. It turns out they had wanted to see us even during the times we were estranged. Hearing how my parents felt, initially, Alex and I were nervous, but gradually, our emotional distance closed, and we began to converse like old times. Alex and I both felt immense joy at the kindness my parents showed when they first met him. We were able to deepen our family bonds again, and I am truly grateful for that. I've become indifferent about Tom, but it's true that he sent me a message saying, "Help me." I didn't respond and just blocked him. Whatever happens to him now is none of my concern. His accident while he was with his affair partner was a consequence of his own actions. Perhaps this tragedy would not have happened if he had valued his family more. Being freed from the dishonest Tom and starting a new life with Alex has been a great happiness for me, and I hope Alex feels the same. I don't know how he is living now. I just hope he learns to discern who to value and lives a life of integrity.